Okay. Done and done. Okay, so that actually had nothing to do with pull requests. I just kind of bring everything up to date. Okay, so back to the pull requests. Okay, so what we're going to do again is we're going to edit something on the green feature, add some things to the green feature, and not merge into master on a local branch or a local box, but rather push it up to GitHub and do the merging up there. Okay, so let's. What do we have here? We have a bunch of files here. Let's edit that README again. Let's edit that README. So let's do vi readme.text. Okay, and I'm gonna say this is a new comment for a pull request. Check out this spelling. And I'm gonna spell spelling improperly just so we can put some comments on it later. Okay, so go through the regular routine, git status. Okay, got a modified file there. Let's add that file. Let's commit it. Added a new comment to the README. Okay, and we're all good on the green feature. And let's do a git push. Okay, and now because green, remember what git push does? Because green feature has a matching branch on green feature and master has a matching branch on master up here on GitHub, those two will get pushed, and because master actually had no changes, it was smart enough to know that the only thing it's going to push is green feature. So those changes are now setting up in GitHub, but nothing's been merged yet, right? Nothing's been merged from green feature to master or anything like that, right? So how do we do this next process of saying, okay, let's not actually do the merge, but rather let's tell somebody about this and tell them, hey, can you look at this and can you merge it for me? Okay, so you do all this on GitHub through the web interface, right? So if you log on to GitHub, all right, log into your account. Let's see here. Okay, my Chrome is acting up a little bit. Let me just reload that. I can't scroll for some reason. Okay, so we go to GitHub. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to go to your repository. All right, we've seen this before. We've seen all this before. And you'll notice there's two branches there, and we've seen that before as well. And you can actually even look at this. If you click on branches, you can actually see what the status of these branches are. So the green feature is actually ahead a couple of commits above master, right? So there's some changes that are sitting in the green feature that aren't actually in master yet. If they were all caught up, actually, you wouldn't even see the green feature. You'd only see the master branch. Okay, so what you want to do if you want to create a pull request, okay, is you're going to click on the branch that you want merged into master, okay? So what the branch that we want to merge into master is actually the green feature, right? So from this drop down over here, click on the branch that you want to merge into master, okay? And then you're just going to create a pull request just by clicking this button up here, pull request. Now all a pull request is, okay, it has nothing to do with the actual, it's not actually going to do anything to the Git repository, okay? It's not actually going to do any merge here or anything like that. All it is sending out a notice to people, okay? It's sending out a notice to somebody saying, hey, I want something to be merged. It's not actually going to do any merging yet, okay? It's just creating this piece of documentation saying, I want something to be merged, right? And it's a smart piece of documentation because it has all the information about what you want to merge, okay? So you can see here, what I want to merge is the green feature with this little arrow into master. So it has all that information on the web page, right? So it kind of creates this like web page for people to come and see. They can look at the difference between the green feature and the master branch. They can analyze it. They can comment it. They can do all that stuff before the merge actually happens, okay? So it's just kind of this nicely documented request, okay? That's what a pull request is. What's really nice about a pull request is you can actually start specifying people's names. If you have other collaborators on this project, you can actually specify their names here, right? So if you had someone else working on here, say named John, you put @John, I have a pull request. Can you check it out, okay? And then that person would actually get an email. So in this case, I'm just going to put my own name. I added a comment to the README. Can you check it over and let me know and merge it if it's good, okay? Again, this is all just documentation and notifications that you want something to be merged into master. It doesn't actually do any merging at this point, okay? So actually, you can very comfortably do a pull request. Like nothing really severe is going to happen, okay? Now the brilliant thing about a pull request, again, is that what's happening is it creates this kind of nice little page for you, this pull request here. And in fact, if you go to back to your Git repository, and at any point you can go to pull requests and you can see any pull requests that are there. You can click on it and you can assign people to it, right? So if there's other collaborators, you can assign them to it. You can add random comments if you want here. You can say, oh, I did this or whatever, right? You can put comments there. This is all this, it basically creates, it's almost like a bug issue or something like that, right? Or something like that where people can comment on it. And in fact, in this pull request, right, again, to access that, you click on pull requests and you click on the pull request. You can actually look at the commits of the pull request. So the person who's going to review this can say, oh, okay, there's 5 commits that I'm going to be merging. They can even look at the files change. If they do this merge, these are the files that are going to change. You can see there's a green file and here's some lines that were added. They can even comment on these if they want. They can click on this and say, spelling is spelled wrong, right? Stuff like that. You can hit comment. So you can do all this communication, right? You can see how this really increases workflow. You can communicate with your collaborators and all this stuff like that. And when the person is actually ready to do the merge and everything looks good, all they have to do is go back to the pull request. I keep clicking on pull request and then the pull request itself. Another thing you can do is just kind of click on these tabs once you're in the pull request itself, right? So here's a pull request here. You can just click on these. And once the pull request is good to go, whoever has access to this, and it's generally any of the collaborators, they can just come down here, and where it says this pull request can be automatically merged, they can just hit this blue button here, and it says, do you want to confirm the merge? And I'll say yes. And there you go. The pull request is now gone, and what effectively has happened there is the person said it looks good, and they've actually done the merge on GitHub. So now the master branch that's sitting on GitHub is actually updated with the feature. So you can see how this becomes really nice for workflow. So your workflow basically becomes, if you're a developer collaborating with others, you create a branch, you push that branch up to GitHub, and then you create a pull request. Okay, and this works for a lot of other things too in terms of open source projects and yada, yada, yada. Okay, if you want to try this out, comment on my YouTube videos or send me an email, casey.lee@gmail.com, and I'll actually add you as a collaborator to this project, and you can start doing the pull requests, and I'll show you how all that works. Or you can just do pull requests on your own project. It's up to you. Okay. Now, before we close off on pull requests, there's one last thing I want to mention. Now, we did a merge on GitHub, right? So the green feature, we added something to the README. We pushed it up to the green feature on GitHub, and then we did the merge on master, right? One thing you should note that because the pull requests happen on GitHub, the merging actually never happened on your local machine. So the changes that are sitting in master up here are not actually in your local machine yet. Well, we can actually really easily remedy that with a git fetch and a git merge. Okay. So now that the pull request has actually been approved and the person actually merged it for me, I can do a git fetch. And you'll see actually master was updated, right? Because that actually has some new code in it ever since the merge. And then I will merge it. So let me check out back to the master branch. And you'll see actually, look, all of a sudden my master branch is behind origin master by 6 commits. And that's due to the merge that happened on GitHub. So git merge origin master. Okay. And now everything's up to date. So now everything is up to date. So pull request is a really, really powerful tool and allows collaboration to happen really smoothly and really nicely. If you're ever wondering if there was an error that happened, like say somebody didn't like what you did to the green feature, like they didn't like how you spelled something, for example, you can just update your green feature on your local branch and push it up again. And then the pull request will still be the same pull request, right? Because a pull request effectively is just the merge, the differences between the two branches. That's what it actually displays. So if you update the green feature, it'll show those changes as well. Okay, so pull request is a very powerful thing. If you want to actually experience this with collaborations, send me an email, casey.lee@gmail.com, or you can also basically you can comment on my YouTube video, and then I'll add you to the project, and you can see all this in action. So that's pull requests.